What's going on, people? Erson here. Welcome back to the channel. Look, it's Monday. It's the worst Monday of all time as it is right after the final day of the Premier League season. There's no more Arsenal games. It's over. It's under wraps. Yeah, yeah. Um, in today's video, we're going to be rating through all the Arsenal players that have featured for Arsenal this season, where it went well, what went wrong, who's been the best player, who's been the worst player. Look, there's a tier list, a top five, and then the player of the season. The very good, nah. He's young, but I can't be harsh because we will be talking about some of the academy players that have featured for Arsenal this season. I expected more, bad, awful, get rid. And as you can see there, I've got myself involved, Arteta involved, and a lot of the Arsenal players. Aiden Heaven, who we got rid of, is in there as well. We got rid of him, so he's already in that category. Although he's not been bad, to be fair. But, yeah, Arsenal finished the season with 74 points after victories against Newcastle and Southampton. Yet, had a semi-final defeat to them in the Carabao Cup, which hurt. Semi-final defeat to PSG in the Champions League. Second place in the league with 74 points. Liverpool win it with 84, which makes me feel embarrassed. Makes me feel angry. Nah. The fact that league has been won and it's not Arsenal and it's not even 90 points makes me feel sick to my stomach. The fact that we finished 10 points behind that is... But down to refereeing decisions, injuries, we can sit there and say that. But at the same time, some of the players in this list could have done a lot better in their performances. Not to mention the third round exit to United in the FA Cup. Absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, it's not been a good season by our standards. We've been outdone by the women's team, which credit to them. They got second in their league in the Women's Super League against a very good Chelsea side that have won the FA Cup alongside it when Arsenal lost to Liverpool. But they've won the Champions League. They're second since 2007. But we're going to talk about the men's team today. Rating them. Hit the like button if you're new. So actually, subscribe if you're new. Hit the button for more Arsenal content. We're almost to 750 subscribers. I'm trying to get this in as less takes as possible because I'm drained. You know what I mean? This season has been absolutely abysmal. Yes, we made the semi-finals. We've beaten Real Madrid. We hammered Man City 5-1. We have been very competitive against the top 6 teams in the Premier League and the top 6 teams in Europe. You want to win a league title, you can't be drawing 14 times. It's actually the fact that we draw on the same amount of times as Liverpool and won less games makes me feel sick. But yeah, let's rate the players this season. We're going to go for the least important and rate them first to the most important. Off the cuff, least takes as possible. Oh, what can I do? It's tough. These players have been injured. Some of these players have played a lot of games and not stepped up. Some of these players are actually come into the youth ranks, made their debuts, playing against Bolton and Preston in the Carabao Cup. And there's a few that have actually become stars of the show. Also, I'm in there. I'm rating myself because I don't like to cuss out players without reflecting on myself. And I've also put Arteta in there because he deserves to come under a lot of criticism and praise at the same time. But yeah, starting off, we're going to go with the goalkeeper in Jack Porter. Can't be harsh on him, but he's young. He made his debut in the Carabao Cup. Good performance from him. They beat him, was it in the first round against Preston? Bolton. They beat Bolton 5-1. He actually done okay in that game. He's now featuring in the under-17s for the England squad. Next up, Tommy Setford. He was a signing from Ajax, £1 million. Big potential. He played in a win against Bolton, against Preston or Bolton. I don't know. He won a Carabao Cup game. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, fair play to him. Josh Nichols as well. He'll get into this list as well from his Carabao Cup performances. Can't really be too hateful on him. He's done pretty well for the youth academy. There's quite a few other youth academy players that ain't going to be on this list, but it is what it is. But those 3 are there. Maldini Kakuri, who went on loan to Bromley the second half of the season, is there. He's also in this list. Can't be too harsh. They are young. They got some decent potential. whether they're playing in the Prem, Championship, League One, or League Two. The fact that they've made their debuts for Arsenal this season is pretty good. First player on this list, and it's sad to say, but it's an awful get rid category. Takahiro Tomiyasu. One game played this season. That is why. He's been injured. Maybe he's had a massive injury that we don't know about. But it's another season where he's not played enough games. I expected more from him. I expected him to be playing some games at centre back, right back, left back. This is a player that locked up Mo Salah, in seasons gone by, playing as a left back. Yeah, he only featured against Wolves in the Premier League. It's not good enough. Yeah. Up next, in terms of players, let's go with Gabriel Jesus. Also in that get rid category. / I expected more. Like, he's been injured since that game against Man United where the season ended. I don't know why he's running straight at Fernandes like that for him to get injured like that. He was brilliant, in the season where, beating Palace in the Cup, 5-1 win in the league. He was finding that form where he was very good. But unfortunately, too many injuries, high wages. He's got to go. Up next in terms of importance is going to go Jorginho. He is leaving in the summer for Flamengo. I feel like putting him in the meh category. He's not played enough games for Arsenal. Not been bad for Arsenal. Not been particularly great. But he's had some good performances as an Arsenal player. It's good to see him get the send-off he deserved. I thought he was good in certain games, but meh. Neto next. Get rid. Awful. One game. PSV. Awful. Edu. Why did you sign a player that couldn't even play in the Carabao Cup games? This guy played for Bournemouth in the League Cup. And that game against PSV, I'm scratching my head. Awful signing. Up next, in terms of importance, we're going to have Raheem Sterling. We're getting rid of him. He's going back to Chelsea. Not even a single goal in the Premier League. Get rid. He had one or two good games in the Carabao Cup against Bolton. Done all right. Done well against Preston. Done all right. He's good against PSV with a lovely assist. I thought he actually shone, to be honest. But one goal all season in the Carabao Cup isn't good enough for a player that we expected more of, that we had high hopes with. Speaking of left backs, we're going to go with Kieran Tierney. You know what? He's played 20 games for Arsenal this season, which is more than I expected considering he has been injury prone for Sociedad, for Scotland, for us when we signed him, but he's been a valuable servant to the club, showed immense professionalism. I think he's been classed. That last game against Southampton, man of the match, scored a lovely goal. I thought he defended really well, and he deserved a very good send-off. Come off the bench many a times. He's not been injured too long for Arsenal. I think I want to put him in the good category. I'm going to put him in the good category because of that last game. He's not been as, a 6 out of 10 as Jorginho has this season. Yeah, I think I'm going to put him in the good category. He's been very class. I wish him all the best. He's been here since 2018 when Emery signed him, but he's been riddled with injuries. He even was out for the first 6 weeks of the new season. But it just annoys me. He could have played a lot more games. Shame he's not part of the plans because he's a good crosser of the ball. He still could beat past players. He's a valuable member in the team, in the dressing room. A big brother to some of these players. 27 years old, should be entering his prime. But he's going back to Scotland where he's going to be remembered as a legend there. A good category for him. Okay. Up next, let's go with, it gets to all the key players of the season. We'll continue the left back range. We'll go Calafiori. I'm going to put him in meh. He is young and we can't be harsh on him. meh. He's had 2 brilliant goals, for Arsenal. In particular, that game against Man City. What a goal, by the way. He also does a brilliant finish against PSV, but he's been injury prone. 22 years old, £40 million spent. I would put him in. He's young, can't be harsh. If it wasn't bought for that amount of money, I don't know why he was unavailable in the last game against Southampton. And there's been times where he looks a bit lackadaisical. He's rushing into tackles. A good footballer to watch, but I can't put him in the good category. Meh. It's just meh. Leandro Trossard now. If I can find him. Also, there's meh, but I expected more. I expected more goals. I expected more assists. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. Would I give him a new contract? Maybe a 1-year deal. Brilliant, skillful player, wonderful left foot, winning goal against Tottenham Hotspur. Thank you for that. He has been a contributor in some of the bigger games this season. Can't lie to you. But he's not been as good as last season. Scoring against Man United away from home being an example. Bayern at home. Liverpool. There's not been that many of moments. I still think we should keep him, but I expected more from him without a shadow of a doubt. Same could be said for Kai Havertz. Yes, he's been injured, but he's top goal scorer of 9 goals this season. He has had his injury issues, but he's missed a whole lot of chances. Man United game, got to score those chances, against Newcastle. Wasn't good enough in that Carabao Cup defeat. For a guy that is on 260k a week that we signed, I expected more. Last season, I would have put him in the player of the season in the very good category because of his contributions in the second half of the season, like Trossard. And maybe he would have been in there. Maybe if he didn't get injured, he would be there, but I expected more from him. I expected more. There's not many players that have been bad. Oh, wait. Here we go. Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. He's been bad. Okay. Scored against Southampton. Done well against Newcastle. Cool. After the PSG defeat. Done alright against Liverpool. Done well against Man City in the league with a goal. But everywhere else, he's been utter dross. Martin Odegaard. He's become a meme. Even he will say himself, he's been bad. I need more from him. He's a captain of Arsenal, and he's not stepped up to the plate. Really been disappointed with him. Yeah. Up next, we're gonna I really want to put him in the meh category as well, but a player that's been at the club for 4 years now. Need more. Need more goals. I need more long shots. I need more assists. I need more impact in the big games. You can't be ghosting against Real Madrid and PSG. Can't be ghosting in those games. Got to do something. And I think it's good that I put him in bad, because if he does see this, it doesn't mean I rate him as a bad player. Because I think he's talented. Extremely talented. Wonderfully skillful. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. But I need him to take more risks, take more shots, go for goal a bit more, find that pass, instead of just going side to side and being so slow as Arsenal play on the counter-attack. But yeah. Up next, we'll go Waneri. You know what? This is going to sound harsh. I'm only going to put him in the good category. The reason why I'm close to putting him in the meh category as well. That goal against Girona in the Champions League. That finesse against Man City. One of the greatest goals of the season from Arsenal standards. 5-1 up. The guy has 30 yards out and he curls it right in the bottom corner. It's absolutely sensational. And you know what? He stepped up in the Carabao Cup games this season. He's had some good games. He's contributed. Needed more from him towards the end of the season. but he is a young lad. He is only a kid. You know, I think he's been class. I think, yeah. Been brilliant. He's not the young player of the season. That, for me, the young player of the season has to go to Miles Lewis Skelly. I'm putting him in a very good category, right? Top 6 players in the Premier League this season. 100%. Goal against Man City. Fantastic. He's had some brilliant, colossal games. Stood up tall against Real Madrid. Arguably, I want to put him in the top 5. But I just feel like the top 5 I've got in my head played more games. Just contributed a little bit more. you know. But I do think he's been better than William Saliba. You know, he's been better than some of the other players in the league this season. But yeah, now on the topic of Saliba, by his standards, he's not been great. By his standards, by the standards of best player in the world shouts, centre back of the world, this and that, he's not up there yet. I'm gonna put him in good because he's been class for Arsenal. But he could have easily been in. I expected more. I could easily put him in very good because there's been games he's been superb. But in this second half of the season, when Gabriel's been injured, he's been lackadaisical. He's not showing enough leadership. Some errors. Against Real Madrid even. Against PSG even. Bournemouth, not great. Good. First half of the season, he's up there. Player of the season, very good category. I'm just going to keep him in good for now. Just going to keep him in good for now. Alright, first player in the top 5. I'm going to go with Bukayo Saka. Yeah. Straight away, I think he's fifth. Fourth best player for Arsenal. Goals and assists all round, set pieces galore. Wonderful end product that this guy has. I think injuries is the reason why he's not higher on this list. Before he was injured, he was absolutely sensational in the big games. That goal against Liverpool, despite the 2-2 draw, absolutely class. He's running rings around almost everybody, this season. Goal against Real Madrid. Goal against PSG even, despite missing a clear-cut chance. I think that goal against Real Madrid puts him in there because he has started coming back from injury. But without doubt, one of the best attacking player this season. Without doubt. Our best forward this season. Been brilliant when he's played. Start of the season, he was absolutely clutch. But somehow he ends the season less than 10 goals, less than 10 assists. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. It is brutal. It's heartbreaking. Next up, we're going to go to Thomas Partey now. Awful. Get rid. Would be a bit harsh. But good. Not good enough. Meh. If Arsenal sold him, I'm actually... we can't even sell it because he'll be leaving on the free. I don't think he deserves a new contract. I don't like what's going on around him. I don't like the off the field situation. I don't like feeling morally conflicted. That's why I'm keeping him in there. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Yeah. Next up, Martinelli. All right, he's been injured as well, like Havertz. I expected more. Simple as. I expected a lot more from him. More goals, more assists, better all-round play. Not been there. It hurts. It hurts. Knowing that he's not reaching his potential yet. This guy under Emery had potential to become a star player at Arsenal. Even under Arteta, he's had a few good seasons and a good few years. But he's not been as good as last season and the season before. But he did give us that brilliant memory against Real Madrid, scoring in that game. He is a big game player for Arsenal. It needs to be said. But he's not clinical in front of goal consistently. Doesn't beat his man consistently. He's not the greatest crosser of the ball. Although he is good with both feet, I can't lie. I expected a lot more from him. Do Arsenal sell him in the summer? I don't know. But he doesn't... He's not the main starter at left wing for Arsenal next season. Therefore, he's in the I expected more category. Next up, we're going to go with Kivior. I can't lie to you. He's not a better centre-back than Saliba, but he's had a better season by his standards than Saliba. But at the same time, I've got to put him in good. He's not been outstanding like Skelly, but he's been good enough for Arsenal to the point where he's proved everyone wrong. This guy came in, Gabriel injured. Everyone was saying season done. How can man keep a clean sheet against Real Madrid, playing brilliantly against Mbappe? He was even alright against PSG. He was class in every game that Arsenal have had. And he's done a better job than Saliba when Saliba's played. So like, I think this is what I'm gonna do like that. It just makes sense. A backup player having a better season than these guys feels weird to me. But it is what it is. Kivior, we have to keep him. As a backup centre back, as a backup left back, he could do a job. He can even play right centre back. He did that yesterday. Done all right. Yeah, good season from him, man. A good season. Good season. Ben White, meh. Been injured in it all season. When he has stepped up, he's been good. But he's been curtailed with injuries this season. He's been brilliant the last 2 years. I thought he was absolutely outstanding last season. And Timber's had his time to shine. We'll talk about him in a sec. Yeah, meh for Ben White. Because I'm going to go and put this in here. Yuri and Timber is in my top 5 players of the season. He's not been very good. He is top 5 players of the season. Top 4. Consistent. Every game has been a 7 out of 10. I was actually harsh on him against PSG. 1 lapse of concentration doesn't define a season for me from him. Scored against United, scored against PSV. The opening goal in that madness, in that fantastic performance in the Champions League. Stepped up to the plate with White's injury. Not had many injury problems. I think he's quality. 1v1 is one of the best defenders in the world. 1v1, he is absolutely class. And it's been a brilliant signing from Arsenal. For 35 million, he has been a new signing for Arsenal. Brilliant. And I'm looking forward to many more seasons with him as an Arsenal player. Class. And yeah, the majority of these players are going to be in the top 5. I'm going to put Marino as well, in the very good category as well, because he's been playing as a striker. I cannot underestimate how important he has been for Arsenal. Scored in big games, even Liverpool. Home and away goals against Liverpool. Fair enough, man. Winning goals against Leicester, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Goal against Real Madrid, fair enough. Assist at the Bernabeu, fair enough. We signed him to play centre mid. He's come out. Actually, in centre mid, he's been meh. But at striker, when we needed him, very good. Can't expect a bit more from him. But I think he's done more for Arsenal than all of these players here. He's had reached his expectations at Arsenal more than these players. Now, Lewis Skelly was meant to be a backup player to Calafiori. Very good. Marino, meant to be a backup player to the midfielders. Yeah, he's contributing more than all these guys. Even at the start of the season, he's been injured. Imagine if we paid him a fully fit Marino throughout the whole season. He'd probably contribute a lot more. Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. And the last 3 guys here, yeah, Raya. Raya with the clean sheets. Raya, phenomenal. He absolutely goes in there alongside Gabriel. I think Gabriel's injury has hurt him. It's unfortunate, but yeah. A word on those two. Like, I love the fact they represent Arsenal Football Club. Defensively sound, 13 clean sheets in the Premier League. Fantastic. Clean sheets against PSG, Atalanta. You know, where would we be without these two leaders? Where would we be without his clutch saves? Where would we be without Gabriel's headers? His leadership. Where would we be? Both of them have been fantastic for Arsenal this season. Therefore, make my top three. But none other. Player of the season, most goal contributions. He's been absolutely everywhere. Declan Rice. For me, he is without doubt my player of the season. He's been the best player. And that's my top five. Saka in at fifth, Timber in at fourth, Gabriel in at third, Raya in at second, Declan Rice at first. Declan Rice. You know what? In my opinion, David Raya, the most underrated goalkeeper that Arsenal have ever had. I'm seeing Arsenal fans gutted that we're not signing Joan Garcia because he's linked with Barcelona moves. How dare we disrespect David Raya? How dare we disrespect a back-to-back Golden Glove winner like that? Just for a new toy when he's not guaranteed success in the Premier League. This guy's been doing it for Brentford, for Arsenal. He stepped up in the Champions League. He even saved the penalty against PSG, against Vitinha. Kept us in it. He's been clutch. But we want Joan Garcia. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. I don't want a goalkeeper to come in to test the waters. I rather we re-sign Matt Turner or Aaron Ramsdale. I want a second to be a second with experience. Because this guy is arguably the goalkeeper in the Premier League, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Alongside Sells, alongside Allison. Where are we going to get another clutch goalkeeper? Onto myself. I've put myself in the mayor category. I'm glad I've called out Arsenal for their behaviour. I'm glad I called out some of the Arsenal fans that have been behaving abnormally, showing a lot of disrespect. I'm glad I called out Arsenal for their treatment of Mark Bonnet, yet staying silent on what's happening with the guy next to me. Yeah, like I could do better as a fan, cheering on the team a bit better. Maybe I could have gone to a few more games, but I'm not paying £70 of football for 90 minutes. I'm sorry. That's why I've gone to a few of the women's. I've gone to a women's game, £20 for 90 minutes of football. Yeah, you can't go wrong in that. But maybe I could have gone to a Carabao Cup game here and there, Champions League here and there, and FA Cup here and there. But it is what it is. You know, I've cheered on the team as much as I can. Just got to be less emotional. But this club does what it does. And I put Arteta in the expecting more category because I expected more points. I expected more signings. I expected better goals, more goals. I expected a man to stand up tall instead of blaming everything on injuries, instead of making everything about him. I hated the way he reacted to the PSG defeat. It showed no humility. It showed a lack of class. It was big-headed. It was arrogant. How can you be angry at the first half defeat to Liverpool, right? 2-0 down. We come back to draw 2-2. But then come out and say we were the better team against PSG, even though we conceded 3 goals and we only scored 1. Even though we got carved open so easily earlier on in that first leg. How does that work? We didn't create enough chances in that game. I really had high hopes for it, Arteta. I have real high hopes for him this season. That he would be lifting a Carabao Cup and the Premier League. Getting 90 points. But he didn't. FA Cup defeat to Manchester United is astonishing. It's not good enough. You know, bringing on players that... Why are you not bringing on a striker in the final few minutes of the game? Why are you not throwing the kitchen sink at games? The amount of draws we've had. I don't want to see Arsenal settle for a draw. 10 men or not. I want Arsenal to win. 2-2 draw against City, I can forgive him because we had to go down to 10 men. And we had to park the bus. But other games, like, could have easily won. Even with 10 men. And it's just like, it's bittersweet. I'm not fully Arteta in. Because if Enrique becomes available, Simone Inzaghi becomes available, Antonio Conte becomes available, I'm getting those guys. Hansi Flick, better manager. You know, they've won league titles recently. Arteta hasn't. Arteta couldn't get us to a cup final. Arteta got outplayed by Eddie Howe. Couldn't beat Bournemouth. Areola. You know, it's not good enough. And yes, there's been injuries. Yes, he's been let down by the board. He should have, but we should have gone and signed Watkins. In January, he was there, available, £40 million. Go and get him. He's not improved. Havertz, Trossard, Martinelli. The football has become robotic. Defensively, we've not improved on from last season. And it's very hard to do that. But he has improved the likes of Kivior. We have seen glimpses of talent from one area. Miles Lewis-Skelly's become a beast at left back. You know? Timber's become one of the best 1v1 right backs in world football. Raya's become an elite goalkeeper under him. DECLAN RICE, 10 out of 10 midfield. But 74 points in the league. I understand with injuries and PGMOL getting involved. Still go out there and get 80 points. We had PGMOL shag off last season and we still come out with 89 points. That's the sad factor about it. The fact that he couldn't improve Raheem Sterling when he's worked with him at City. The fact that he's not managed to keep the likes of Chido Obi Martin, who's got big talent, by the way, big potential, by the way. Actually, don't mean much, but it was a striker that we needed to keep a hold of. You know, Thomas Partey's situation. You know, he's playing him at right back, playing him centre mid, and it's like letting go of Smith Rowe, letting go of Vieira on loan, yet we've not managed to get more goals than last season. It makes me feel sad. Erdegaard, overcomplicating his development, makes me feel gutted. But yeah, that's my tier list, guys. That's my top 5. Rice, my player of the season. David Raya, Golden Glove winner. One of the best players in the league. Without a doubt, he's a world-class goalkeeper. Gabriel, world-class defender. Timber, 1v1 masterclass at right back. And BUKAYO Saka is one of the best wingers in world football. Just been hard done by injuries. Yeah. I got to pay tribute to Marino's season, like coming on as a striker in the tough times. Despite us not getting enough goals compared to previous seasons, he's done well when we needed him at striker. You know? In a position he doesn't know much about. Same with Skelly. Coming in at left back. Brilliant. You know? Yeah. Yeah. That's my tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Maybe Saliba's been better than most of these guys here, but that second half of the season is really disappointing me. In a bit, people. In a bit.